something wrong. Someone's on the phone, 3 o'clock in the morning, yeah, talking about how she can make it right, yeah.
This is Larry Connors USA. Larry Connors USA.
Larry Flynt took his raunchy Hustler magazine and built an empire. At the same time, fought numerous First Amendment court battles. And he did a lot of stunts that you might compare to how Donald Trump has done some things, as far as going a little far for some belief, but at the same time, going for a basic premise he believed in, and that was the First Amendment. He'd been in declining health. He died yesterday at the age of 78. I had a chance to interview Flynt when I was working for a television station in St. Louis, CBS station. I also was doing some of the radio work at the same station downstairs, or rather it was upstairs. And so during those radio interview hours, I had numerous guests, and one of them being Larry Flynt. And the occasion was they had just opened a Hustler club in Washington Park, Illinois, just across the river in Illinois from St. Louis City. We've been trying to get the actual audio of that interview. I have not gotten it from the station where it was, and we've been looking for other sources, and I would still like to recreate it at some point, but we don't have it. I do want to share, though, some of what took place. Now, keep in mind that Flynt was paralyzed from the waist down after a 1978 assassination attempt. And so when I met him, he comes in this gold, at least I don't know how much was gold, but certainly painted gold, wheelchair, gold-plated wheelchair for sure, velvet-lined seat, and big burly guy, Reed bouncer, pushing the wheelchair, and another one standing nearby. And we got him up to the microphone and introduced myself. We're in a commercial break or coming out of the news, whatever it was, and then we began the interview. And if I recall right, one of my first questions was, looking at all you've accomplished, almost have to ask why you didn't spend it for other means. In other words, why didn't you apply your talents to something better than promoting pornography? It would immediately became a very tense type interview. Even confined to his wheelchair, you could tell that he stiffened up a little bit, and he had his cane nearby, and I didn't think he was going to hit me with it, but at the same time, I could tell his attitude. I do remember that he had been in a U.S. Supreme Court in '83, dealing with a libel suit at that time against the publisher of Penthouse. And during the proceedings in that case, at one time, Flynt had shouted, "F this court." Nothing, talking to the U.S. Supreme Court justices, nothing but add the word and a token C word, referring to Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. Chief Justice Warren Burger had him arrested for contempt of court, but that charge was later dismissed. So I didn't know what he was going to do. If you do that, the interview I was doing with him was taking place in the late 80s. The guy had taken, when in 65, took $1,800 from savings, bought his mother's bar in Dayton, Ohio, called it the Kiwi, refitted it, soon bringing in $1,000 a week, then opened up other bars and sometimes working 20 hours a day. And then in 72, he created the Hustler newsletter, 2-page black and white publication about his clubs, and then, of course, moved forward to come up with the Hustler magazine, first published in 74. First few issues pretty much unnoticed, But then he began to publish full nudity shots, which Playboy and others were not doing. And during one legal battle that Flynt was having, he was returning to a county court in Georgia when he and his attorney were shot in front of the courthouse by gunmen standing in an alley across the street. It left Flynt partially paralyzed, permanent spinal cord damage, needing the wheelchair, leaving him in excruciating pain. The white supremacist later confessed to the shootings, claiming he was outraged by an interracial photo shoot that appeared in Hustler. Larry Flynt, the movie, People vs. Larry Flynt, 1996. Flynt actually makes a cameo appearance. We'll continue looking for the actual audio of that interview. But I will say this, that seeing he passed away today, it kind of flashed back as to that interview and his persona. He was captivating. It was dominating. Larry Flynt, dead at age 78. As always, we appreciate you listening. Remember our pledge, one nation, under God.
This is Larry Connors USA. Larry Connors USA.